Block the
Oh
mean
no,
people.
please stop. I'm covering my ears. Do I even have ears?
You don't.
Well, this is a segment
No.
called
He has a
Oh No,
mic.
Please Stop News. Taken from the creepy side of the world.
The creepy side of the world, everybody.
Oh,
Creepy
and
side.
this is creepy. Let's watch this 10-minute creepy video.
You got it.
And I'll set this up for everybody.
Sounds
This is creepy stuff that you could find on Google Maps.
Okay.
And like Google Earth.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
This is
Creepy
10
on
minutes
Google
of
Map. Google
us
Earth.
going, holy crap. Holy crap.
Holy
Holy crap.
Turn the volume up.
I don't even know if
Google
you...
Maps is an amazingly useful tool that allows users to
I've used Google
travel
Maps
the world
before. Have you?
from the comfort of
I
their
have
own
too, yeah.
homes. Most of the images featured on Google Maps are innocuous, but some have gone viral after people stumbled across them and deemed them to be super creepy.
Yep.
These 10 creepy things found on Google Maps are a few highlights, and some will likely cause you to have trouble getting to sleep once
Great,
you've seen
can't
them.
wait.
Before we
Super
get
excited.
started,
Oh, I
make
love
sure
it,
you
yes.
hit that subscribe button
can't
so
wait
you can
until,
keep up
like,
to
I
date
can't
with
sleep
all our
tonight.
Hey,
latest and
subscribe to
most
this guy's
exciting content.
YouTube.
Yeah,
But
Number
subscribe
10,
to us first.
pigeon people. While doing their rounds through West Tokyo in order to expand their Street View
Did they say
Maps
pigeon people?
editions, the Google Street View team happened across a very strange sight indeed. Their Street View cams have picked up a lot of strange things over the years, but the pigeon people of Tokyo are one of the strangest
there you
and
go.
creepiest
Pigeon people,
sights
Tokyo.
found on Google Maps.
Yeah,
the
thanks,
images
Tokyo.
in question
Never
seems to
weird
show
enough.
a pedestrian footpath in
Oh
the
my
center
God,
of
called
like
and
really?
said, give us our weird
wearing
back.
creepy
Portland called
pigeon
and said, we
masks,
want more
all
weird from
staring right
ourselves.
into the Street View camera all at once.
Japanese took
There
it
are
off.
other normal people on the path as well,
Oh, yeah,
but they're
sure,
outnumbered by
normal
the
people.
pigeon
Yeah,
people.
with pigeon
And
masks.
it's
You know, those
strange to see
pigeon
all
people,
those
yeah.
mask-wearing individuals
My favorite
in
part
one
is they're
place.
ignoring the
It could
pigeon
very
people,
well be
and they're
they
looking on their
planned
phone
this
like, we
prank
gotta
ahead of
go
time,
somewhere,
making
away
a
from the
point
pigeon
of being
people.
Right.
captured by the Google Street View team. But that's a strange thing to do and would probably be difficult to pull off. We have no idea what brought these people
Yeah,
together
I mean,
when all said and
honestly.
done, or why they all chose
Yeah.
to wear creepy pigeon masks.
So to be quite honest,
Spot.
I thought
The
they were
whole
on a
scene
pigeon
is
walk.
really creepy,
Like, that makes sense
which
to
more
me.
than
They're on a
earned it
pigeon walk.
spot on today's list.
Right.
If you have any information that can help us
I
shed some
don't.
light on
I
this
don't. As a
creepy
matter of
scene,
fact,
No,
my answer
we're
to you is
trying,
it's
dude.
Number
Japan.
9, Ariel Castro's house. For those of you who don't know who Ariel Castro is, he was a despicable person who kidnapped 3 women
Yes.
and held them captive in his home for over 9 years in total. His
Right.
crimes only came to light when one of them managed to escape with her 6-year-old child, who was actually conceived and raised while mom was locked up under the watchful eyes of a complete psycho. Castro
Oh,
was
my
eventually
heavens.
charged with a wide range of
Yeah,
crimes,
right?
including
The house
rape,
was so bad that they
aggravated
had to
murder,
blur it in Google
kidnapping,
Maps.
and
That
attempted
house was
murder.
bad.
Google
It's like
has
porn.
seemingly
You
gone
gotta
out
blur
of its
that.
way to blur the house out on its maps,
That's what I'm
which
saying.
actually adds
Right?
a seriously creepy vibe to an
It
already
makes it way
creepy
worse.
house. We
It's
assume
like-
that they wanted to give it as
It's
little
like,
attention
hey,
as
let's,
possible,
blur out
but
the
idea
naughty
that they
bits.
went out of the way to blur it out
And I don't
just
know
makes
who's
it
going,
even more noticeable.
hey,
which is
remember
why
that
we got
Castro
wind of
guy?
it.
Let's
We
look
can't
up his
argue
house.
with
I got his
Google's
address.
decision at
I just
all,
remember
but do
it
have
from the
to point
news.
out that it
Now, you
makes
see,
the whole scene
now,
seem
I
even
would've
more
blurred it.
sinister for some reason.
Follow me on this
Number
one.
8, Auschwitz.
Okay.
Hey,
While the
hey.
infamous
Auschwitz is
concentration
creepy. Already,
camp
yeah,
is-
stop. We were not done with the other one. I would have blurred it if there was like a hand coming out of like,
Oh,
like
yes.
one of the windows. It's like, dude, how did you not know there was a problem? There's a hand coming out of the
Right.
window. Like,
Or like someone saying "help me" or like in the corner
A
crying or
sign.
something. Yeah,
Help
and it's
me.
like, oh my god.
Google employees ignored this for years. They thought it was a
Yes, They
joke.
just blurted out. They were
Just
like,
blurt it
"Oh
out.
shit, my boss is gonna fire me." Oh my god, we just need to blur this out.
Could you imagine? We'll couple this with a story like from 2 weeks ago. You 911 the call, like you 911 somebody, and they're like, "What's the crime?" I work for Google, and there's somebody holding up a "help me" sign. Here's their address.
Right.
And then they get there and there's no "help me" sign. It's like we're gonna take that Google employee to jail now. Okay,
Get
so now
this. They show up in real life and the house is actually blurry.
right. Classic. That'd be hilarious. So now we're going to the lighter part of the world. We're going to Auschwitz, everybody.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
Great.
no
You know,
longer in operation.
tickets are only
People can hop
$25
on
a
over
piece.
to Google Maps if they
15 for
want to see
kids.
the site for
Don't
themselves.
start with
kids.
that.
We can't
That's what
believe
got
Google
Logan Paul in
included a
trouble.
place like
Don't even start with
Auschwitz
that.
without blurring it all out, but decided to go out of their way to blur out Ariel Castro's home. Auschwitz is a seriously creepy place nowadays,
Yeah.
mostly because we all know about the atrocities that
Yes.
happened there. with countless people being murdered at the site in
Sorry about
cold
swearing.
blood,
I agree.
and even more people being forced
Sorry,
to
not
live in
sorry.
terrible conditions
Sorry, not
while
sorry.
being subjected to
F
absolute
Nazis.
horrors during their
Yes.
time in captivity there. Number
I just
7,
can't
gas masks.
Oh,
One
wrong on
building
every
in
level.
Pripyat, Ukraine, is definitely unsettling if you decide to take a tour of the site on Google Maps.
I wish
That's
they gave
because
those
the floor
masks
of
to
the
the
building
last
is
people.
absolutely littered
Jeez
with old
Louise.
abandoned gas masks.
crap,
Pripyat
look at
is
that.
now a ghost town
What?
and has been largely
Why so many
uninhabited
gas masks,
since the
anybody?
Chernobyl disaster.
Radiation.
turned it into
Okay,
and the
a
I get
gas
it now.
mask
I get it now.
canisters went
This
out,
is
and they
probably
went,
the
F
reason
this.
why
We're
all
done.
these gas masks can
Yeah.
be found in this abandoned building in a long abandoned city.
Dude, that
The building
reminds
is
me of, like,
actually an
a
old school,
rave, but
and
with beer
all the
cans.
masks were made to fit the little heads of the children who
Oh,
attended
God,
the
I didn't
school
need to hear
while
that.
Oh,
still
that's
being
I
even
did
in
not
worse.
need to
basic
hear that.
education.
Little
That's
The idea
even
that
worse.
these masks were
Oh,
potentially
my
used to
God.
Oh, I
protect
gotta
kids
pause it. I
during
gotta
the
pause it.
Chernobyl
This is way worse
explosion
than I
fiasco
thought.
back in
Oh, and then they. Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh.
And this creepy news is creepy. Oh, man.
Oh.
Okay, did you hear about the news in Canada? Like, with the kids in Canada? Oh, God,
No,
this
go
just
ahead.
reminded me of it.
No,
So
go
in
ahead.
Canada, so apparently there was a thing in Canada where they would take Native Americans, but they're Canadian Americans. So they would take the Indians from their families. They would just yank these little kids from their families, and they would send them to schools. And the schools had special names, but they were re-education schools. They would Americanize these kids.
Oh.
Well, they
Oh.
just came across a burial plot with like 200 plus kids' shoes. And that's all that was there were the kids' shoes. And I was like, are you
No.
kidding me? And so, and this was they got stolen from their parents, taken to this place, and then they were re-engineered. And I
Educated.
guess, oh God, man, this is just
The
our
80s
show.
Ugh.
Welcome
serves
to our
make
show,
the
everybody.
entire scene
Blood
even
guts.
worse,
Hi,
as there's
hi.
every chance
We're
that
such
many
positive
of the
and
kids
happy
tasked
show.
with wearing these
Why is the
masks
mom not
back
wearing a
then
gas mask,
might
by the
not
way?
have made it out of the
You know.
predicament alive.
Well, they always say
All
put
in
the mask
all,
on the kid
building
first.
and the
She just hasn't
masks
gotten to hers
that
yet.
They
litter
do.
its floor is a
Okay.
grim reminder of just how hard the government dropped the ball when handling the disaster, which
Shocker.
put a stupid amount of people's
Whoa.
lives at risk because they had
A
no
stupid
clue
amount.
how
That's an
dangerous
official
the
number, by the
situation
way.
would become
On the
Stupid
report, it
amount.
was like
Too late to
0,
do them any
1,
good.
2,
Number
stupid
6,
amount.
Murder
Stupid.
victim. Google
Murder
Maps ended
victim?
up accidentally
What?
featuring
On a
an
Google
image on their
map?
maps that is as gory as it is unsettling.
No.
The image shows
What?
police on the
No.
scene after the
No.
body of a murdered 14-year-old boy
please.
was found in Richmond, California.
Oh,
not
this is
far from
horrible.
a set of train
Richmond?
tracks. The
Oh,
image
it
went
goes worse
and
viral
worse.
when
I actually
people
know where that is
realized
as
that
well.
The image showed
I
that
do
the place where the
too.
boy's body was dumped,
Richmond,
and that the kid's
California.
body was actually visible for everyone to see after police
No
officers had
way.
uncovered it. Google was quick to remove the image and did so after the boy's father found out about it and asked them to take it down. Number 5.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Ali
no,
Bonnie,
no,
an
no, no.
image
I
that-
cannot imagine being a parent, like scrolling through Google and going, "Oh, there's my dead kid. Maybe I should tell somebody. Hey, could you take my dead kid off the internet?" No, no.
What? I know.
No.
Okay. So get this. It's
Yes.
like 5 years later, and you finally go through like an hour of the day, not like feeling crappy
Yeah.
because your son
Yeah,
did that,
your
and
freaking
then
kid got killed.
get a
murdered.
notification from one of your friends or something going, "Look what I just found," and you're like, "Oh my god, oh my god."
What makes
That-
it worse
that
is
dude
then
has
you
a
then have to
lawsuit.
reach out to Google and ask. It's like an
Right.
ask. Like, hey, Google, you'd be really cool if you could take my dead kid off the internet. Like, what? No. What
Oh.
part of that makes any sense to anybody?
And
Makes
what
no
it,
sense
what
to
are we
anybody.
watching right here? Like that looks like a murder. That looks like blood.
It does. It totally and completely. Wow, this list is horrible.
What the heck? This took
You know
a
what, this
turn
is
for the,
reminding
it's
me-
called Bloody Body. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's reminding me
What?
of Faces of Death. Have you ever watched Faces of Death? I've watched it
Yes,
once
or-
officially, and
or
I
you
never
know
need
what?
to watch it ever again. Ever.
This-
Don't watch this. Buddy.
this is-
Don't watch Faces
no.
of Death.
So
Oh.
I remember watching Faces of Death when I
Yes.
was like 11, and it scarred me for life.
Of course, it's the most
Yeah.
violent. But until we got to this list, it was the most. Until we got to this list, it was
But
the most violent and
this
bloody thing
list
you would have
is
ever
like-
seen. It's
It's
worse.
like House in the Woods or Cabin in the
worse.
Woods, where it's
Yeah,
like,
this is worse.
oh,
Next.
It appeared in Google Maps has since been taken down by Google, but appears to show a person dragging a body along a dock, complete with
exactly
a vivid
what it
blood
looks
stain
like.
to help make the scene even creepier. We don't know what the story behind the image is, but we can only hope that Google didn't display the
hell's
scene
that? What is
of
that?
a brutal
Oh, you don't
murder
know what that
for
is?
the
What
world
was
to
that?
see.
Yeah, you don't
No,
know what
what
that
was
is.
that thing?
Oh, I know
Sandy
exactly
Island
what that
was
is.
complete with a
I'm all
vivid
about the
bloodstain
tech.
to help
So
make
anybody that's watching,
the scene even creepier. We don't know what
you
the
ready for
story
it?
behind
I'm
the
gonna pause
image
it on the
is,
Yes.
screen.
but we can
Okay,
only
you get one guess.
What is that thing?
You have no idea. Okay, I will find
Is
it
it
for
taking
you.
pictures? Is it zooming in
it's
on
way,
something?
It's way cooler.
What the
it's
hell
a-
is that thing?
It's way better. It's way better. Here it comes. I'm flying it in. Let me get it on screen first,
Okay.
though.
Yeah,
Because
yes.
I don't want to lie to you. You were seeing this right here. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, slide over. Stop.
Okay. I
Welcome
kind
to
of saw it.
computers. Yeah, I was.
Hi,
Bring it
PCU.
on screen and make it big.
Okay.
Google Glass.
Wait, it's only $15?
Google Glass. Latest
what is it?
Explorer Edition. It's a replica, dude. That's a total ripoff. That's some dude that made a cosplay of it. So Google Glass was in a failed experiment by Google. Snapchat had a very similar one, where
What?
they took all the technology of a phone and put it into this glass thing. So you could do everything you could with a phone. You could take pictures. You could webcam with people. You could look up your notes for the show. You could do it all right on the Google Glass, and it would appear in front of you. It's AR. It's augmented reality, so it would just appear. They had expanded it and made it even bigger. They did all kinds of stuff with it. But I will tell you, people found it super creepy. Shocking. People found it super creepy.
Well, yeah, because people would just watch porn on it all day.
Hey, Jimmy, what are you doing? I'm buying groceries. Doesn't sound like you're buying groceries.
Yeah,
Sounds
what the
like you're
hell are you
something
doing, dude?
else. Doing something else with a can of beans. I don't know.
hope that Google didn't
But those-
display the scene of a brutal murder
Wow.
for the world to see. Number 4, Sandy Island. There have been a few occasions in
That
recent
sounds
years where
fantastic.
strange
Like, hey,
islands
kids,
have
let's
seemingly
go
appeared in the middle
take
of the
a-
let's go to
ocean
Sandy
out of
Island.
Sandy
nowhere
Island,
for
yeah.
no apparent reason whatsoever. Some of these islands have been thoroughly studied and were found to have been
Okay.
created due to natural processes.
I get
One
that.
island,
Sounds
however,
great.
hasn't been studied at all and has only been glimpsed once
Why?
or twice on Google Maps. Sandy Island
Why?
is located in the Pacific Ocean, and it caused quite a stir when it suddenly showed up on certain maps, but was strangely missing from others. Even though Google Maps has given us impressive glimpses of the island, it has been spoken about and even added to important maps.
Dude, did they
since at
black bar
least
the island?
1876.
They did, yeah,
The
100%.
island
What the
appears
hell's
to
going
rise
on
from
in
the
Sandy
ocean's
Island?
depths from time to time,
Yeah,
revealing
no
itself
doubt.
for only a small amount of time before receding below the waves once again.
Oh,
Scientists have tried to
okay,
figure out
I
the
get it.
mystery
I
behind
get it.
this
It's-
elusive
it's
So
basically-
high
and
tide,
have
low
so
tide?
far come
High
up
tide,
short
low
with
tide,
no
but I was
idea
gonna
what
say
it
it's
could
like,
actually be.
what's
Some
the-
people have
it's
theorized
Atlantis,
that
basically.
it's actually the back of a monstrous sea creature, with others
It's
claiming
not
that
That's
a
it
even
sea
could
funnier.
be
creature.
a large
If
raft
anything,
or a
it's
magical
Atlantis.
island. Unfortunately,
totally
we have
buying
yet to
Atlantis.
prove or disprove
They gotta come
any
up
of these
sometime
theories,
for
and
air.
it's still
Yeah,
unclear
I mean,
what
yeah.
this island is or what causes it to appear and
But there was
reappear
trees
at
and shit
random.
on
Google
it,
has
like-
removed
Oh,
the
you see,
island
that's
from
the
their
thing I
map.
was going to say. I think they faked us out with the images. I don't think that was actually Sandy Island. I think that was like some, like, we found it on
Gotcha.
on Shutterstock.com or whatever.
Yes,
And-
I get it.
The other one that I wanted to bring up, since they're talking about islands, have you heard about Trash Island?
Isn't that in California, off like Laguna, somewhere right
Kind
around
of,
there?
sort of, yeah. There's a couple of
Yeah.
them in the world, but there's an actual island that a dude, like, okay, so there's floating
Oh,
trash things
yes,
in the
yes,
water.
He's in Mexico. And,
Yeah.
and yes, yep, I've seen that. Yes.
So he
Go ahead,
basically found a big
explain it.
giant
Yeah,
trash
it's awesome.
pile. Yeah, he found a trash pile in the water, and then he built a house on it. And I
Next
think he
week's show
used a lot of
notes.
recycled trash and stuff. So
Next
it's so
week's
fun.
show notes, we
At
got
this
it. Trash
point, but we
Island.
think
now.
Trash
it's
Island.
probably
To-
worth paying
toss it in
closer
there while we're
attention
watching
to
this
it in
crazy
the
nonsense.
future, because it's one hell of
Trash
a
Island.
mystery that we'd like to be solved once and for all. Whether or not you agree or
Yeah,
disagree
it's
with
Atlantis.
us, feel
There you
free
go.
to leave
We've
a
answered
comment
it for
below
you.
It's Atlantis.
detailing what you
We
think
just
this
solved
I
it.
island
don't.
actually is,
Yeah,
or
Aquaman's
what
going to show
causes
up.
it to
Like, I don't
appear
understand
and
why
vanish
they
at
even.
random
They should
intervals.
just call us.
Number 3,
We'll tell 'em.
Nagoro,
Right.
Japan. The village of
What the hell?
Nagoro, Japan has been slowly fading away into obscurity. This is mostly because the people who used to live there
Can you say Japan Silent Hill? Can you say that? That's what I think
Right?
it is. totally reminds me
have
of
begun to
Japan,
make
Silent
their way to
Like The
larger
Grudge?
cities that afford them better
1,000%.
Despite this fact, if you're cruising around the
Ring
village on
Village.
Google Maps, you'd be
And, okay,
forgiven
so
for
I have one
assuming
thing to
that
say.
this is still a bustling village.
Whoever edited this is fired. Like, did
I
you
agree.
see the shot right before this? Okay, I'm not trying to be racist or rude or ignorant
Despite
or any of that
this
stuff,
fact,
but
if you're cruising around,
what in the flying hell are you doing, editor guy? That you couldn't find a Japanese village anywhere? There is 0% chance this is Japan. Just saying. Like, you're fired. Editor's
the
fired.
village on Google Maps,
I've actually
Taiwan.
seen
Even
it.
for
I've
assuming
seen a whole
that this is
documentary
still
on this
a
village, by the
bustling
way.
village filled with
This
Really?
is the weirdest freaking thing. Yeah, I've seen an entire documentary on this village. There's one dude. This was on NHK Japan. They went to this village. The dude made a picture, like made one of these for the reporter. And what this guy did was everything this guy has said is true. The town is on a decline. There might be like 15, 20 people that live there total.
Oh, wow.
So what this guy did was he remembered everybody from his childhood. So he remade them all. He remade everybody.
gotcha.
And the weirder
It's
part,
like Lars and the Real Girl.
yeah. What's even creepier though is he did it inside buildings as well. This is the creepy part to me. So like if you go into the gymnasium, there's people playing basketball. You know what I mean? When you go into like the concert hall, there's people giving a concert. Like every single part of this town, this guy has recreated
the truth
with people.
behind this point of view is a little more creepy than you might expect, because the people you can see hanging out in and around the village aren't people at all. It
No shit.
seems that a local woman has constructed
It's a woman.
countless
I
dolls,
apologize.
making
I
a
thought it
new
was a
one
dude.
each time someone in the village leaves or dies, and adding
See?
it to her astounding collection. They
Yep.
are found all over the place.
I saw a
and
whole
are
documentary
creepy
on this lady.
reminder that
She
the
was crazy
village,
cool.
now almost
And
a
I thought it was
complete
a
ghost
dude.
town,
Man,
used to be
tells
filled
you
with
how
people.
long ago
Then
I was.
again, her tributes to those people who are no longer with her are also quite touching, even if
I
there's
think it's
also
awesome.
a slightly sinister
Totally
feeling at
creepy.
the same
Cool.
time.
But awesome.
We can't imagine why this woman
I
decided
mean,
to
honestly,
erect the dolls
it's
in
not
place of
that
her former
creepy.
village mates.
It ain't Silent
Like,
Hill
for
creepy.
She's
it
just
to
feeling lonely
it to be
and
this
wanted a
high on
little
this
company.
dude's like
Number
list,
two,
it's not that
massively
creepy. That shit's
bunny.
creepy.
When people
That is
pursuing
creepy.
Google Maps first discovered this super creepy bunny on the side of a hill in northern Italy,
fuck?
they spent a solid amount of time tossing out one theory
What are we
after
looking
another.
at?
The bunny definitely looks like it's in some sort of distress, and its creepy wide open mouth looks a lot like it's screaming
Some
in fright
sort
or
of
in pain.
distress.
Thankfully, we've been able to work out who put the bunny there and why they did so.
my God.
Firing
Unfortunately,
the
however,
editor.
the
He's
story
fired.
isn't
What
nearly
the
as
hell?
impressive as
Fired.
the bunny
A panda
itself.
guy.
It seems that the terrifying bunny was
Bunny
created
and
as
panda
part of an
guy
art
fired.
installation by a group of Viennese artists and is basically supposed to be a fun spot for tourists to hang out. It's
Sure. Now it's
oversized
not
to help
creepy.
visitors get a
That's
better
awesome.
sense of their place
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
think that's
universe
creepy.
by making them feel
It's
as
cool.
small as possible next
Does
to
this
its
guy not
open
know the
kid
difference
dying.
It's a
between
very
cool and
strange
creepy?
piece of art, and
Right.
we're
I don't
sure
know.
that the artist could have given
dead
it a less
kids,
creepy appearance.
the
Dead kids are
dragging the
creepy.
body,
Odd features
Yeah,
did
creepy.
help
the
to put it on
mask
the map
of
to
all
begin with.
children.
So at
Creepy.
least they
Yes.
managed to
Yes.
effectively
This
get
is
the
all
word
creepy.
out.
Did we
We're
say
unsure
number
at this
3 or
point
number
whether
2?
the sensation
Yeah, we're
that
at
this
number 3, I
bunny
think.
caused has
Oh my
actually
God,
increased
how
its
is that not
popularity, but we suspect
like
that it
number
definitely
10?
helped to attract
Like,
at least
let's
a
just
few
Yeah,
put that
this
as
isn't
number
creepy at all.
especially
Yeah.
after it went
Not at
viral
all.
And the one
and
before
caused
with,
such a
like, the
sensation
Muppet
when
Men.
it was first
Like,
noticed on Google
10.
Maps.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Okay. Wait, what did he say? Number
Hidden
1?
Scientology base.
Wait.
Are we on number
Scientology
1?
is
We're
a
on number
Google
1.
Maps. Number 1. Hidden
Wait,
Sci-
time out.
What?
3 and 2
This-
are
this
like, never mind.
are nothing.
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
no.
so one of the things I have a complaint about with this list is they were talking about the masks. You remember that?
Yes.
They're talking about the gas
Yeah.
masks. Did you see any top-down pictures of that gas masks? I didn't. It was
No.
as though they were in
No.
the room. Like, did Google
Right.
now fly their aerial drones into rooms? Like, oh man,
Yes.
this.
I mean, I guess
Oh.
you can do that now. Like Amazon has
Oh, that's
those
true.
drones, so maybe Google
That's true.
just like, hey, this is what we're gonna. No, it was one guy in a car that took pictures from his car.
Have you ever seen the Google? Have you ever seen the Google cars? by the
I
way?
have a couple times.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Love the Google
They
cars.
are.
Yeah, this list sucks. Officially,
It
sucky,
completely sucks.
bad editing,
And now-
horrible video.
You know
stupid.
what?
Dumb.
Why is this scary? Scientology is not scary to me.
Well, let's see what they
Scientology's
say.
base. Scientology is a relatively new religion, and its members are incredibly
Okay.
tight-lipped about the church itself. The Church of
I gotta stroke the
Scientology
long
is
beard to
ruthless
figure
when
out
it
why
comes
this
to
is-
keeping its secrets, and is well known for actively pursuing people who speak out against it. They have
Yeah,
sites all
Leah
over
Remedy.
the U.S., that they
Number
try
one
to
on
keep
the hit
under the
list.
radar, but Google
She's-
Maps
what's
has
that
outed
word
them
they
more
use
than
for
once
people?
at this point. One of the
Reactive?
creepiest bases
always forget.
belonging to
Something
the
like
Church
that,
of
yeah.
Scientology
Why
is
is
found
there
near
s- what?
Trementina in New Mexico. The site is extremely large, and it can
Okay.
easily be seen from space. This is especially true of the strange symbols that seem to have been carved into the ground itself and take up a large
Where?
portion of the base's
They
total
showed it
area.
at the beginning.
Many people are convinced
Yeah,
that
I
this is
saw
an
it,
attempt by
yeah.
the Church of Scientology to try to reach out to passing UFOs
Okay,
and
so
inquisitive
the
aliens.
editing of this
could
is
very well
the
be
worst.
the case, as the Church doesn't like to talk much about
So
why
first
they
of all,
carved
let's be
these
honest.
strange symbols.
These are not from Google Earth. Like this
No.
whole article's about Google Earth, and they're
And-
literally taking videos from like the news.
And how many celebrities are Scientologists that are just like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we all got together like in a camp somewhere?
Right.
Let's just all go
Let's
to
go
camp.
camping.
Bring your kids. Let's have a barbecue.
Yeah,
Like,
it's nutty. I'm totally baffled by this. The worst
into
list
the earth,
ever.
considering them to be a church
Oh my gosh,
secret
you know what it
that
is?
can only
Professor,
be
I figured it out. I
revealed
see
to
it
its
now.
most devout
What?
members. That
Solar
being said,
energy.
an
That's the
ex-Scientologist
problem.
who worked
Solar
at the church
energy.
for years
Without
has
solar
spoken
energy,
up,
it's not
saying
creepy.
that the
When you're-
symbols,
when
which
the
feature
counter
two
starts
large
going
overlapping
backwards.
circles
Yeah.
with diamond
'Cause-
shapes
yeah.
in their centers, are actually a map to help guide true believers
me?
to pieces of literature
Whatever.
penned by
I
the
honestly
church's
think
founder,
that they just use
L.
it for
Ron
dirt
Hubbard
bike
himself. These works
racing.
are housed at the site, and if the church's members are to be believed,
Scientology,
are
if you
written
watch
on
this,
pure
it's not
gold
our fault that
sheets
it's on the
and
list.
kept in special
Please
titanium
don't
I'm
boxes
sorry,
to help protect
Scientologist
them from the elements
peoples.
and prying eyes. And that's 10 creepy things found
No,
on Google
not creepy.
Maps.
No.
If you
Not
enjoyed
nearly
this
as
No,
creepy as
and
I
video,
was
you should
expecting.
give us a
reverse
like and
your
let us
thing
know.
and call it like some are just you hate to hear it
Yeah.
type of a thing.
You're officially not getting my like or subscribe on that one. That was horrible. That
No,
was just the most
so
horrible
take that
thing ever.
back. When I said you should do like and subscribe, that guy's no,
Yeah,
I'm
don't.
not gonna look at that.
Don't.
No.
Thank you for watching this segment of the TP Show. Please like, subscribe and hit that bell notification so you know when we post. We are also on Spotify so you can listen to us on the road. Until next time, this has been another episode of the TP Show.